Hello, hello, and welcome to Throwback, Thursday, May 24th, 2018. Steve Sipress here. Another spectacular, beautiful spring day here in sunny Arizona. I think it hit the mid-90s or so, which is still beautiful here, especially with the nice breeze that we have. And my papers that I have to share today on Throwback Thursday are flying away. We got a plane and a helicopter going overhead. And we have the sun setting over the mountains in the back. Oh, and we have the moon already out and fairly high in the sky. Can you see it there? There it is. Look at that. All kinds of things are happening out here. All right, let's get right to it. Rhino of the day is this cool, very cool stone rhino. And if you look carefully, man, I am always noticing, look at that ear, has been lopped off somehow. Don't ask me how, but my rhinos, I mean, that one looks really nice on that side. And that side, youch! Good thing it's a rhino, and that's another reason a rhino is the symbol of the entrepreneur, because whatever. Chop our ear off doesn't stop us. I mean, that'll stop the 9-to-5er, the person who's too lazy or weak-minded or selfish or whatever reason they don't contribute to society by starting their own business or running their own business or multiple businesses. Things like that really bother them and stop them, and like, ouch, pain, ooh, can't handle it. But rhinos can. We got 2-inch thick skin, got another ear, so we can hear anyway, and life goes on. And maybe I'll even knock the other one off because I'm always dropping them, and then when I move, or in this case, I don't even remember what happened. I must have whacked it somehow, and there goes the ear. Whatever. Still a rhino. So let's get right to it. I'm doing a ton of spring cleaning these days, as people that follow me might know. And I found some really cool old stuff. Now, first of all, I got a shredder delivered here from good old Amazon, and filled up about 7 or 8 humongous hefty bags full of shredded paper, because I just got rid of boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. But before I get rid of this one, I figured I'll share it on Throwback Thursday, and then I'll get rid of it. Because look what I found. The very first hotel order and detailed report of my very first ever, now it's backwards so you can't really read it, but it was at the Hyatt Rosemont in Chicago for my Bill Glazer, Dan Kennedy GKIC chapter in September 2008, on Thursday, September 18th, 2008. It's backwards, but there it is. That was my first ever chapter meeting. So, and there it is in bigger print right there in the middle. So a few lessons learned from that. I became the chapter director and got accepted I think in April of that year. Jeff Ducharme is here. Great seeing you, Jeff. And then went through training a month or two later. And then everyone said, oh, you know, don't start your chapter and run your first event in the summer. Summers are terrible for events. Wait till the fall. And so, of course, I listened, because I didn't know what I was doing, and followed the rules. And it's pretty ironic, as I have talked to so many people since then, since I built the largest one of these GKIC chapters they ever had. And I learned over the years that because people kept asking me, how'd you do it? I said, well, number one, I ignored everything they taught in the training of how to do it, because I'm a Dan Kennedy student. That's what Dan Kennedy teaches. So ironically, I had to be a renegade, even from the Dan Kennedy, Bill Glazer business, Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle. You got to be a renegade, folks, even if you need to be a renegade from the renegade. You got to break the rules and not do what everyone else is doing, because it really just doesn't work. And so I listened that first year in 2008 and didn't have an event all summer, and started in September. But after that, just about every summer, I always had my largest turnout, my most successful events in July, August, sometimes the end of June, but mainly July and August. Over the next few years, I had fantastic turnout. And I have a client who does the same and has learned the same lesson, and he runs a huge networking group, the largest in the state of Arizona, has 18 chapters of his own, and hosts about 1,000 events a year. And he told me the same thing, that summer's coming up and I have my best attendance of the year in the summer. And so we started talking, and I really believe that the reason why is because everyone else is listening to what they say, to the experts saying, don't hold an event in the summer. People are on vacation. People have other things to do. They're doing all kinds of outdoor stuff. They're not business-minded. They're taking the summer off. Blah, 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 blah. What BS, what excuses, what nonsense. Do not listen to that crap. Because here's what happens. When everyone takes the summer off and everyone doesn't host events because it's not the right thing to do, then guess what? When you do, you're pretty much the only game in town. And so, of course, then you're going to have what I had and what my client Robert has, this outstanding, spectacular attendance in the summer months. So that was mistake number one, is not hosting my first event until September. But anyway, look at this next mistake. I mean, look at the report on here. Let's skip right to the receipt. So here's the payment receipt, and there it is right there, if you can see the figure. Oh, that's the wrong side of the paper. There's the figure. Yep, $2,667.69. Nice of them to pick a round number. But I'm sure that includes the outrageous tax, especially that you pay when you are stupid enough to live in a state of Illinois or one of the other, run into the ground by progressive-run states, high-tax states like New York and Connecticut, New Jersey, and Illinois, California, stupid states like that to conduct business in. But anyway, $2,600. That didn't include the marketing to fill the event, and all the free gifts I gave out at the event. And I think that first gift ran me around $5,000. So events are expensive. And then there's another separate charge, by the way, for AV that I found in the back here. There's 10 pages of this nonsense. There it is. We have AV and sorted some other charge for another. It's only $200 more, but they charged me $155, $155 for the AV, the LCD support package. 25-foot VGA cable, 25-foot AC cable, 3-way, 10-foot front electric roll-down screen, 6-foot AC power strip, $155. Give me a break. As soon as I realize this is how it goes, I'm like, wait a minute, a 25-foot VGA cable, let's just buy that thing for $20. I mean, I hosted hundreds of events over the years, so buying the cables, the 6-foot AC power strip, what the hell, how much is that, $10? Like, why rent it for one day for 3 hours for $155? The reason you do is when you do out-of-town events. So let's say I live here in Arizona, I'm hosting an event now, I would host an event in Chicago. Well, I'm not going to traipse up there with my projector, my screen, and my soundboard, and my speakers, and all my wires and everything, and so then I'd have to spring for all kinds of AV charges. But when I was hosting events all throughout the Chicagoland area, it made sense to purchase all that stuff as an investment that paid off for years to come, and then I needed a setup team that was setting up my events, and I needed to also check around. Good thing it's a big city and there's plenty of venues, and I checked around to someone that was open to letting me come in with all my own stuff, including for about a little over the first year that I hosted the event. I actually found, after seeing that outrageous bill, I found a hotel that allowed us to bring in our own food. To go to Costco and get our own cheese tray, instead of $250, we get a cheese tray for $30 and feeds all 80 people or whatever, and so on, and getting our own drinks and so forth. And so we knocked off this charge by a couple of $1,000. I got better and better at the marketing. What I most of all got better at, because successful entrepreneurs never focus on the cost. So even if it costs $5,000 to host each event, we focus on the results, on the profit, on the revenue generated. And that's what I really got good at, is providing more and more and more and more value to the attendees, and therefore being able to turn more and more and more of a profit from each one of the events. And so I hosted hundreds and hundreds of events and helped tons and tons of entrepreneurs and business owners all throughout the Chicagoland area and several states around. People would come from all around for my events, help them with their marketing and growing their businesses and selling their businesses and just making tons of money, with that rippling effect of their helping all their employees and all their customers, clients, patients, members, and all their families, and they're paying more taxes and supporting their governments more, and on and on and on. Just the rippling effect. All their suppliers like this, they're hosting events, they're paying hotels and for computers and phone bills and electric and overhead and all that kind of stuff. So big rippling effect from me having a positive influence on a lot of business owners, which I still do today. I just don't do the big dog and pony show. So I no longer see these big bills from these events that cost, almost $3,000 just to the hotel, and then another couple of grand to put some butts in the seats, and another $500 or so in some giveaways for people, promise to people to attend so they show up and all that kind of stuff. But I've learned to minimize the cost, although you never become successful or wealthy by saving money on cost. But makes sense to put systems into place and streamline the cost. But what I really focused on is the results, the revenue and the profit from the events. And I've gone on to help many people do it, and I can help you do it too. So I can help you, sure, minimize the cost, but of course we don't really focus there. Successful entrepreneurs don't focus on the cost. That's what 9-to-5ers and employees and the 87% Americans that depend on the 13% of us who own the businesses and run things, and we're the entrepreneurs, and we provide all the value, including paying all the paychecks to all those employees who depend on us for all of their living expenses, and also depend on us to tell them everything to do because they voluntarily become indentured servants to us just so that we give them a paycheck. I mean, the whole thing is, I've done it before, but it's foreign to me to think that's what your life is all about. But anyway, so we always look to provide more value, and I have helped a lot of entrepreneurs to host events, do it the right way, so that you help the most people and you therefore bring in the most revenue and the most profits. And if you want help with that, just contact me. Go to stevesipress.com/consultation. But stick around and watch my videos. I record a new one every day, and there are lots of hints, and very often I give hints about hosting live in-person events because I've hosted hundreds of them, and I've helped hundreds of other business owners do the same. And so that's it for Throwback Thursday. Last look at my first ever hotel bill for my first ever GKIC chapter event. Thomas here, good seeing you. Before I shred this one, and off it goes, and I'll be back next Thursday to share another Throwback Thursday memory out of the archive, and I'll be back tomorrow with part 3 of my 7-part series, the 7 critical transformations that every business owner needs to make. And I delivered that for the first time at one of my events in June of 2011. And I had one of my clients come on when I was talking about that event and said, the talk you gave there was spectacular, life-changing. And I said, you know what, for the next 7 Foundation Fridays, I'm going to share one of the 7 critical transitions. So you can scroll back wherever you're watching this, on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or Rhino Daily Podcast or the Rhino Daily Blog or LinkedIn or all the places this video or audio is available. For the first 2 parts, and I'll have part 3 tomorrow on Foundation Friday. So that's it for today. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thursday, and thanks everyone being here live and anyone watching on the replay. I don't see any questions, comments, concerns, so I will call it a day, and my paper is flying around in the breeze on a beautiful day. Hope you're having a beautiful day, and you have another one tomorrow, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Hey, thanks for all those likes on Foundation Friday. So for now, over and out. Bye-bye.